Hi, y'all, and welcome back to the Who's Right podcast. And I'm here. We got some news today, and I hope everybody had a great weekend. But before we get to the news, hey, Victor, how you doing?
Doing great. Happy Sunday to all you, or happy Monday to everyone listening the next day. Um, the Mets have completed their rotation, it looks like. So it's exciting. It's not the star-studded rotation that everyone was expecting going into the offseason, but it's something that we can put on the field and be proud of. So yeah, let's talk about it. What'd you think about our pickup today in Sean Manaea?
Well, yeah. So let the people know we picked up Sean Manaea, and 2-year contract, kind of similar. In the same kind of vein as the Severino contract. So again, not putting a lot of money into it, trying to see what happens with a lot of these pitchers. And obviously Lucas Giolito had the track record of being healthy and giving us innings and stuff like that. But I think we did all right with signing Sean Manaea. Me and you really didn't talk about Sean too much. I know we've mentioned him a couple times, but not something of substance. But it's somebody that we probably should have been talking about, just because he was out there and he was ready to go. And the Mets were linked to him. We just didn't really talk about him because Sean Manaea, Ryu, very similar guys. Not something that gets us fully excited. But like you said, we may have our rotation. Hopefully not. You know what I mean? Hopefully there's still some more moves coming. But who knows? I like the upside of having Sean Manaea. Well, upside. Let me rephrase that. I don't know about any real upside because middle of the rotation kind of guy. Upside's a a big word for Sean Manaea that he doesn't deserve, but I'm okay with it because, like we talked about before, no Yamamoto means a different look to the offseason. And Stern said it from the beginning. Yamamoto, if we get Yamamoto, that changes the offseason. You might have seen us pick up a Soler, even though still not out on Soler, but more rumors around Soler, or JD Martinez. No, thank you. But Justin Turner, no, thank you. But there might have been more noise around those guys if Yamamoto would have signed. But these are the guys that we're going to get since Yamamoto didn't sign, and because the other big fish that we're trying to get are next year, and this gives us if Manaea stays healthy, this gives us another arm for next year because he's on a 2-year deal, because we were worried about guys leaving after this year, right? Quintana, Severino, we didn't know what was going to have in Hauser. Hauser was also done after this year. And so we had to fill a lot in our rotation. So this gives us a little bit of security, I guess, for next year. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's not bad. I mean, it doesn't move the needle, but I didn't expect it to. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, we talked about it last time that we needed to pick up pitcher on a longer term deal. Not anything too long. We weren't talking about 5 years, but something that will hold us over to get us to the 2025 season. And that's what this deal does. 2 years is all that we need with Sean Manaea. He's 32-year old, and he's going to give us what we need. And the reason I say that it was the our rotation is complete is because our 40-man roster is full. So unless the Mets do something in the trade market, then I don't think we're inactive going after any of these free agents anymore. Like I feel like we're out of the Jordan Montgomery talks, we're out of the Shotni Managa talks. The only thing that I can see the Mets doing is if is in the trade market now. But if at the end of the day, if they don't do anything, after this move, then I'm happy because we can go through the rotation now, and uh, it starts with Kodai Senga, and then it seems like Luis Severino. We're really expecting him to be our two guy because if he can pitch to the way where he can, then he's probably going to be slotted in that number two spot because Jose Quintana is not really a number two. He'll probably come in at number three. Maybe Sean Manaea will play that role. And then, you got the younger guys filling in those roles. Or filling in the rest of it. Adrian Hauser, Sean Manaea, those are both very similar guys, not in terms of stuff, but what they can provide for the Mets. You saw Sean Manaea last year take on a role which was as more of like a long reliever because he didn't have it at the beginning of the season, and so he was slotted into that role. And I wouldn't hate that for the Mets either, because we talked about how we needed a pitcher like that, uh, how how we were missing that this past year. And it seems like we kind of have two guys that could play that role, but maybe one. And maybe Adrian Hauser and Sean Manaea are fighting for that job now, which I don't hate. A little healthy competition would be great. But Sean Manaea has the edge because he pitched really, really well towards the end of that season with 5 starts at a 2.59 ERA, I think. And so he proved that he can be a starting pitcher, a good middle of the rotation guy. My only concern is that I don't think he puts out consistent innings, and that's what the Mets really needed. I think he's like on an average 140 inning season kind of guy, and we were looking for more of like a 170 a season kind of guy because the Mets need innings, and so that's my only concern with the move. Like we talked, like you said, he has some good stuff, but we'll see how the Mets fare in the rotation. But I'm just glad we picked up a pitcher finally. It's been a long time coming that we've been talking in this offseason, and we've picked up pitchers here and there, but now it feels like a pitcher worth talking about. Sean Manaea has some good stuff, and let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Um, let's see what he does in the orange or blue. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and that's the other part about it. After the part that we didn't mention yet is that he did go to drive line and kind of straighten himself out, so to speak. And he kind of went over there to see where he can improve. Then he improved in pitch speed, and he added a sweeper. So the Sean Manaea that we might get might be the one that ended the season. And if that's the case, then I'm okay with the signing because we're getting the guy that was supposed to be the guy that was coming out of Oakland, right? And not the guy that was not doing so great after he left Oakland. And so, being in New York is also going to help him. It's not the being in City Field is a spot for a pitcher like him that it's not an easy place to hit, and so he might fare well being in New York as well. So yeah, like I said, it's not moving the needle. I wouldn't mind, like you said, we're kind of up against it on the 40 man, and and the only thing that can happen is probably a trade. And guess what? We've been rumored to be, as we transition away from Sean Manaea, we've been rumored to be in the Dylan Cease sweepstakes. And, if we get a Dylan Cease, that kind of changes the outcome of the whole offseason because the outlook, sorry, of the whole offseason. Because if we get Dylan Cease, he slots in there as a number two. And two number twos at the top of the rotation with Senga and Cease isn't a bad thing, because those two guys, and who knows what's going to happen with Severino if Severino comes back to form, and Sean Manaea, we might have a decent rotation, moving forward. But that's just yet to be seen. But I would love to see a Cease trade. I don't know what we would package on the way over there, but you know me, we started the off season talking about a trade for Cease and Robert. And if there's a way that we can make that happen, I'll trade Gilbert for Robert. If Robert's included in that trade. You know what I mean?
Give
Because
that to me right now. Give that to me right now. At the end of the day, we love prospects, but we'll take a developed player with control any time of the week. So yeah, and we have trade ships. We had the guys to trade now. We have so many guys in the outfield now that I feel like we would be willing to let go of. Tyrone Taylor is one of those guys now that's sitting kind of on the outside in, looking for one of those jobs. And if they're willing to have Tyrone Taylor play their center field for this year, and then package a Drew Gilbert over there along with Omar Narvaez, because I know they have Martin Maldonado over there, but they I feel like would take this guy too. But the problem with the Dylan Cease trade is they're asking for a lot, like you said last time. They're asking for, Francisco Alvarez types. And I don't think that the Mets are willing to do that. But if we can package a deal together just to get Dylan Cease over here, then I'm all for that. But I'd like to see the Mets clear up some space, even if it's not a Dylan Cease type. Get another pitcher over here rather than a fielder, because based on the David Stern's philosophy of run prevention, that starts with pitching. And so if you is really worried about preventing some runs, then that starts with getting our rotation really solidified. And Dylan Cease can really solidify our lineup or our rotation this year, because that automatically makes our chances at the playoffs astronomically better. But even as a team, because everyone that I said at the beginning slides down a slot, but maybe not Kodai Senga. Might still be our ace, but everyone else slides down a spot to where they're supposed to be, you know. And but I don't think that Luis Robert is really on their radar right now, especially after the Harrison Bader signing. And so I'm not too mad if we don't get him. It'll solve more if we get him than Harrison Bader did, because he does it all. He's got the power, he's got he can steal bases, and he plays center field. But at the end of the day, pitching is, like you said, what wins ball games. And so I wouldn't be mad if the Mets put together a package of Mark Vientos, Drew Gilbert, some of our pitching prospects coming up to give up for a Dylan Cease, who's got a couple of years of control. He's got 2 more years of control, and so that would put us in a better spot going into the offseason next year. We're all like we said before, we're looking 2 years ahead into the future. We're not looking as a Mets team that is coming off of a losing season. We're going for the World Series next year. We're looking to fill our roster up to be competitive in 2025, and picking up Dylan Cease will put us there. So yeah, let's
well,
see it happen.
yeah, and this is the only place though that I don't see Vientos going, because remember they got Eloy Jimenez, your boy. So
Well, I heard them talking about trading Eloy Jimenez instead of Luis Robert. So that might be a possibility of Eloy Jimenez and Dylan Cease coming over. But again, that solves two problems that we were already thinking of.
yeah, that takes away the flexibility at the DH position. Because Eloy is just a DH, which I mean is fine. But the problem with Eloy, he also doesn't stay healthy. But at the end of the day, a package of Kevin Parada, Drew Gilbert, maybe there's a three-team trade out there. Who knows what's gonna happen. But even Luis Angel Acuna, I'll send over there if Robert's in the deal. You know what I mean? Acuna, Drew Gilbert, Parada, um, you know, throw in a pitcher on the lower end, and I wouldn't mind that trade. I know people are going to say it's going to take a lot more, and but we always talk about trades and say, oh, they didn't get enough or they gave too much, and at the end of the day, we don't know because half the prospects that get traded don't make it to the MLB. So, we don't know, and we don't know what's going to take. We don't know what the White Sox are looking at, which prospects they like, because at the end of the day, the teams that they talk to, um, they're going to look at the prospects, right? And another team might have prospects that the White Sox like better than ours. But we don't know. We don't know what the White Sox want. They keep saying they want three top um, players for just Cease, but I don't think that's happening because if if teams wanted to give it up, he would have been traded already. And so I don't see that happening. So I think we can make a bigger pot by putting either Robert or like you said, Eloy in the package. But I just don't see a team right now giving up three prospects for Dylan Cease, because at the end, 2 years, yeah, he has 2 years of control, but it's just 2 years. It's not
Yeah.
like it's 3, 4, 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they
But
were going to get a lot more if they had traded him at the deadline, like they should have. And so now his trade value has gone down, and you only see a couple of teams in this race right now. Because I don't know if Baltimore's still in the race, but right now I'm hearing that it's between the Mets and the Yankees that are in these trade talks. And I really think that the White Sox aren't where they were in the going into the deadline last year. I think they really decided to unload in this offseason, and that makes it even more um, kind of even more desperate than they would have been in that trade. You saw that happen with the Padres trading away Juan Soto. They would have gotten so much more if they would have traded him away at the deadline last year. But they got, what, three or four prospects in return, two pitching prospects and two infield or two fielders, which is nothing compared to what they traded for to get Juan Soto. And so, but that being said, because the Yankees traded for Juan Soto, I can kind of see the Mets having the upper hand in terms of the prospect pool that they can give the White Sox, because the Yankees say they say that the Yankees farm system is ranked pretty high, but I don't think that they have the positions that the White Sox are looking for, or the farm that I don't think they're willing to give up uh, their prospects. And if they are, then Cashman's a crazy guy, and that really shows desperation from them. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be excited to see the desperate Yankees kind of struggle um, this season, but I really don't see that happening, you know. And so we have the better pull.
well, I think so, but I'm gonna be biased just like you are. So, because again, like I said before, we don't know what the White Sox want. We don't know what they're looking at. You know, um, you know, yeah, the Yankees gave up a lot of players in the Soto trade. Not a lot, but four or five players, and I don't know what they're trying to do in New York. I mean, in the Bronx. So do they really want to give up a few more of their prospect pool? Because for us, I think, if you go around the diamond, and you look at the prospect pool, and let's say, Robert's in the package. Well, if Robert's in the package, that's a lock. Center and left field are a lock with Nimmo and Robert in the outfield. That means and Marte's still here, right? So at first base, we're hoping that Pete signs, right? And we have McNeil at second. Um, Lindor's not going anywhere, right? Francisco Alvarez is not going anywhere. And we have a battle at third base with Ronnie coming back in a year, trying to battle for that spot as well. So, I just think that Stearns is waiting for the right trade to trade some of these guys. He's looking for the right trade, and if Robert, if I I'd be surprised if it's just Cease in the package. If we trade for Cease, if it's just Cease, it's like you said, it's either Eloy or it's Robert in the package. Because I just don't see it any other way. Because we can give him Gilbert, right? So he can slide into center field, just like we were thinking for us in the middle of the season, right? The Bader signing doesn't stop them going after Robert because Bader, at the end of the day, would be a fourth outfielder, and that'd be perfect for Bader. Just because he's not a big offensive player at this point. So him being a fourth outfielder, and that's the other thing. We'll probably send Tyrone Taylor back to the White Sox because we would have too many outfielders. Um, you know, so he be part of that package because that's a lot of guys in the outfield if Robert's in the package, and I so it's Tyrone Taylor, Kevin Parada. I know Taylor's not gonna move the needle, but Kevin Parada, Drew Gilbert, maybe a Luis Angel Acuna, and a pitching prospect, and for Dylan Cease and Robert, that's in my mind. I know I'm biased, but I think that's not a bad trade for me. I know people are gonna say it's not enough, but we don't know what they're thinking, and if there's not more out there, um, who knows?
Yeah, no, I mean, we have to unload. That's what I honestly think. Because we have a lot of position players that are kind of just going to be sitting on the bench. We don't want to have it clogged up like we talked about last time for these young guys to not be able to come up. So guys like Tyrone Taylor. Honestly, I'm gonna make a prediction and say that he doesn't start the year with the Mets. And same with, I think Joey Wendell will stay for a little bit, but then once these guys are ready, I think it's time for them to go. It's not going to be, we have to keep them. It's not the Wilpon era anymore, where we're paying them, so we have to keep them on the team and get them playing time. No, if they're not contributing, and if they're not doing anything for the Mets, then I hate to say it, but it's time for them to go. And so if we can get some trade packages going on right now for these older guys, kind of unload our 40-man roster, um, and then throw in some prospects for it, to get back guys that will actually contribute to the team, then I'm all for that because it's not going to look pretty. The trade is probably going to be a whole bunch of guys from our farm and some guys that are sitting on our bench to get two guys in return, and I'm okay with that. I would be completely fine with that because and all that to say, we haven't built up our farm to the point where we're able to unload our farm. But when you talk about getting a guy back like Luis Robert, maybe not Dylan Cease, because like you said, he's only got 2 years. But I can see your point in saying that I think David Stearns has proved to us already in the trade market that he's willing to wait, that he's going to kind of just play this out and do what's in the Mets' best interest to make sure that they're not losing anything. Because I think if David Stearns has proved nothing else, it's that he's playing strategically this season. He's not doing the classic. He's And nothing against Cohen, but he's not doing the Cohen move of going out and paying everybody and their mother because that's gonna make our lineup look pretty. He's gonna do it smart, and I think he, like you said, he's gonna wait for the right moment to do it and execute this trade. And so I don't know. It'd be exciting to see it. Um, at the end of the day, this is all dreaming, but I can say with without a doubt in my mind that my expectations for the Mets will have gone through the roof for the 2024 season because that adds a lot of value to the Mets team. So yeah, let's see it happen. We still have what 80 days until the season starts, 75 days. So I'm ready for the baseball season to come, and I think you can see it with the excitement on my face and me saying that let's get baseball playing because signed Sean Manaea. But yeah, let's let's get to baseball now. Let's see the results of the fruits of David Stern's labor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, I trust David Stern, so and David we trust, and so I'm okay with it. But you know, we'll probably end it here pretty soon. But before we end it, you know, it'd be wrong of us not to talk about our boy uh, Louis Guillorme going to Atlanta on a 1 year,
I
$1
knew you were
million
gonna
dollar
say
deal.
this. I knew you were gonna say something.
So you know, I just know that he'll probably do something against us because that's just what happens, right? But you didn't want to see him go, so I'm gonna let you kick it off.
Listen, would have I would have rather had Luis Guillorme than a Joey Wendell on a 1.1 million 1 year deal. I'll just put it there because but all good luck to Luis Guillorme. He was one of my favorite players to watch go at bat at City Field, and just that Louis, Louis is going to taunt me over at Truist Park this year. But it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see if he actually because we'll see if he actually makes an appearance against the Mets. But if he does, no ill will towards the guy, but I hope he sucks.
Oh, well, you know he's gonna start against us. They started Robinson Cano when they picked up Robinson Cano against us. So you know they're going to start him against us, and you know he's going to do something, just like Robinson Cano did something when he played us, right? So it's not gonna, it's not a, it's not gonna hurt me when Louis does something against us, because one, I'm gonna be expecting it, and two, he's got to do it against somebody, and most likely it's going to be us. Because he's not a horrible player. He's just not a starter, right? He's a backup, and I love Louis. He's the baddest man on the field. Catching baseball bats and everything, and so I can't say enough good things about Louis. So I do wish him luck unless it's against us, right? I don't care about him doing well against us, but I do wish him the best because I love Louis. I just think it was time for him to go, just like I've been advocating us trading McNeil. Just because we need to find the right mix for our team, and you know, we just got to find the right mix. That we don't have the right mix. We haven't had it for a lot of years now. We had a good year in 2022, but the locker room wasn't great. Because it was the same locker room last year, and all of a sudden it fell apart. So something's got to change. I love the guys on my team, but I bleed the team first, and I want to see the team win. I don't mind seeing players do well on other teams unless it's against my team. And we got to find the right mix. I want my team to do well. I'm bleeding. I sweat tears for the blue and orange, not for a particular player. I know that's contrary to most people, but That's how I roll. It has to be team first, and I love you, Louis. Good luck to you. Not against us, but yeah, that's as much as I'm going to say on Louis. But I thought we need to say something about Louis before we get out of here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But good luck to him. Just like when Travis Darno plays against the Mets every time, it's one of those that you're like, man, swung the got away. I don't think it's gonna be that with Louis, but it'll be um it'll be frustrating to watch him play against us.
Yeah, nah, for sure, for sure. But we're gonna end it right there. We'll have to say goodbye to Louis, and there wasn't much going on, since Thursday, because again, we're expecting the floodgates to open up, but that just kind of tells you what type of free agents we got out there. That not a lot of teams are clamoring for them. Because that's why it's taking so long. Because we thought it was gonna open up once Otani and Yamamoto signed, but. They're holding it up. This week we're gonna see Imanaga sign because he's got to the 11th to sign
Yeah,
before he gets sent back.
yeah, it's three
So
days away. So, well,
yeah,
when this
so
episode comes out, but yeah,
yeah, he'll probably sign before the next episode comes out. But yeah, so not much going on, so we're gonna end it there. But before we get out of here, Victor, any last words?
no, yeah, and just like I said, I'm ready for baseball, but I'm gonna enjoy some playoff football while I'm waiting. So let's go Mets. Let's go make some moves.
Yeah, well, our Giants aren't playing anything, so we're
Hey, but we ended the
we're
season. We ended the season on top, beating
yeah,
those
yeah,
Eagles.
it's always good to beat the Eagles. So that's always a great note to end on. But yeah, we're gonna end it there. Hey guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Uh, give us some comments. Let us know what you think about what was talked about today. But yeah, let's go Mets. See y'all later. Peace.
Peace.